Hello, everybody. Hi there. It's Usha Chidasama, and I'm um, I'm a child and adult psychotherapist, as some of you know. I'm a speaker, and I'm the author of the best-selling book "Your Happy Child: 10 Proven Steps to Raising a Happy Child." And really, I'm very excited today because it's Mental Health Awareness Week. So it's from the 5th of February to the 9th, and all of this week, it's all about helping people to have an awareness of what mental health is. And I'm really passionate about helping parents to empower themselves and their children so that they feel mentally and emotionally happy from the inside out. And that is the thing I love to do. So I want to start this morning, this afternoon, with a story. So I had a parent come to see me with her child. The child is 9-year-old and he's a boy, and a little bit of his background is that he has got anxiety and he's bullied, and the parents have broken up and he's going through a lot of turmoil in terms of moods going up and down. Hello to Julie, who's joined in today. Thank you so much for joining in. And if you know anyone who might be interested, please share this with them or invite them in. So the story is that, when I was doing the assessment with this parent, hi Tina, hi Judy, thanks for coming in. So when I was doing the assessment with the mother, one of the questions I asked the boy was, has he ever had any help for this before? And he said, no, of course not. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, God, if I did that, my friends will think I'm mental. Oh, and for me, that was like a really sad moment, because I just thought, gosh, this boy is in between a rock and a hard place. If he talks to someone at school, then his friends will tease him and call him mental, probably bully him more. And if he spoke to his mother, then his mother's kind of wanting him to be happy but doesn't know how to, so she feels guilty, and then he takes on that guilt, and so it's a spiral that becomes really quite sticky and intertwined like that. So the boy then keeps quiet and he represses his emotions, which he has been doing, and feels very upset. So some cases suicidal. This boy wasn't, thank God, touch wood. But so the thing that I want to talk about is 5 things that a parent. Hello Dahlia, thanks for joining. Hi Jacqueline, thanks for joining. So the 5 things that I think that every parent should tell their children is obviously children that are able to take on these messages. I think that number one should be that the parent tells the child that, what, everybody has it. Everyone has it. We're on a continuum. One end is mental illness, and on the other end of the line is, mental illness and mental health. So we're all on that continuum. Hi, Sam. Thanks for joining. So we're all on that continuum, and at some level, life happens. We might go through a bereavement. We might might lose a job. We might have a new baby, which affects the rest of the dynamics of the family. There's so many things that cause anxiety and depression. Some things will trigger feelings and emotions within us that will take us back to our past. And so, those kind of things affects our mental health. And so everyone has it, whether it's an adult or a child. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. So say for example, over Christmas, I was really ill, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. Everyone has flu. Everyone gets flu. And in the same way, everyone has mental health concerns. So moods go up and down, up and down. And so children need to understand that they are not the only ones, because kids tend to think that if it's just me who's suffering. So that's number one. It's everyone has it, and there's nothing to be ashamed of. Number two, the things that I think that parents should say about mental health to their children, considering that this boy that I saw was actually holding on to it for so long. Number two is that it's not your fault. Adults are going through their own issues, their own ups and downs, whatever it is. And in the same way, children are also going through it, because when adults are going through whatever adults are going through, children are going through similar processes in the classroom, in the playground, going home from school, after school clubs. They are constantly meeting different people, different adults, different children. They're being told different things. Sometimes these negative messages can really affect how they feel inside. So, everyone has problems, the adults as well as the children. And number three is that talking helps, which is why I said to that parent who came to see me, well done for coming, because it takes a lot of courage to actually own up and say that something's going on, something's missing, something's not right, and it's okay to talk about it. I've come from family where mental health was not talked about. I'd never even heard of the words mental health, to be honest, until later on in my life. The thing is that people seem to just carry on as if it's a normal thing. If people are having angry moments or sad moments, and to the point where they're actually, going into an addiction of some sort, smoking, drinking, shopping, whatever the addiction. These things are things that can be helped. Yeah. So talking helps. So when I said to that parent, really, thank you so much for bringing your 9-year-old, because this 9-year-old could potentially have his own children and grandchildren, and if he's been taught skills at a young age to manage his emotions and to not feel bullied, to not feel that victim, then he will grow up to teach his children those very deep and important values. Hi also to Hasu, Ellie, Sherry and Kaushik. Thank you so much for joining. If you find this helpful, please, just ask questions, and I'm happy to answer them as we go. So number one was saying that the 5 things that parents can say to a child about mental health is that everyone has it and it's nothing to be ashamed of. We're all on this continuum of mental health and mental illness. Number 2 is it's not your fault. Adults and kids have problems. And number 3 is important to talk about it, because talking really, really helps. The other thing is that what this little boy told me was quite poignant, actually. And he said that sometimes I don't talk about it because, people who got mental health are really scary. And when I inquired more about it, he said that he's been watching horror films and scary films, and the people who do the nasty things are people who are schizophrenic, or they've got some kind of personality disorder. What I would ask parents to do is say that actually the people that come for mental health help are usually the victims, not the perpetrators. They are the ones that have actually been hurt, so they're actually passive. They don't really, it's just that they don't really know why it happened to them. So it's nothing to be frightened of. Usually people who have suffered will be vulnerable. So they're not the scary people that TV kind of portrays them to be. So let them know that it's not a scary process. It's a courageous process, yes, because you have to talk about stuff. But it is a place where, they can feel safe to be vulnerable. And that's the whole point. You can be safe to be vulnerable. Thanks for joining, Tanzila and Claire. Thank you. And the 5th one is that, people think that if they've had a mental health problem for a long time, it will take a long time to unlearn it and to heal it. But actually, you know, when I'm working with young children, it doesn't, the thing that takes the longest is the beginning process, is where the child gets to understand that this is a new adult and I can trust them and I can tell them things. That's the thing that takes the longest. Once they are on board, they actually open up and talk about the very thing that scares them, you know, and then I help them with strategies and tools and techniques to help them to overcome that. Now, by the time that they come to me in a psychotherapy, like in my clinic, it's because they've gone through the process. They may have seen some of these behaviors show up, like being moody or not eating properly or getting angry over the smallest things or not wanting to go out. These are the kinds of behaviors that parents can kind of look out for to ask and to find out the deeper meaning behind those things. You know, if we just sit and ask the children, they'll actually be able to tell you. So that's when the horse is kind of bolted, if you like. But you know, you can do preventative things as well, and this is where I want to talk to you about a workshop that I've got coming up. It's called the Happy Life Skills Workshop, and happy means basically healthy brain, attention, I don't know if you can see that, attention and awareness, purposefully communicating, positive emotions, and saying yes to life. Now, I'm not going to go into all of that in this video, but I will be talking about each one of those separately over the next few weeks, you know, over February, because this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, but I'm going to talk about how parents can do the preventative thing so that they stay on the, remember I talked about the mental health continuum, where one end is mental health and the other end is mental illness. So it's how do you keep your child to this side, the mental health bit, not the mental illness. And that is the preventative work that we can do together. So I'll talk more about that. But today's video has been about the 5 things that parent can say to their child about mental health. I'll just recap. Number 1 is that everyone has it and it's not something to be ashamed about. Number 2, it's not your fault. Tell the child it's not your fault. Parent, it's not your fault actually either. It's just learning what it is that caused it. Number 3 is people with mental health problems are not scary. Actually, number 3 was, it's important to talk about it. Number 4 was that mental health, people with mental health are not, it's not scary. And number 5 was that it doesn't take as long as you think. So, you know, if you are a parent watching this and you've seen some of the behaviors in your child, you know, give me a ring if you want, or, you know, post a question and I'm happy to come back and answer that question. If you feel that this was helpful, please do share it, and any comments that you make, I will go back and look at them, and I will talk more about the happy model that I've just talked about here, the happy model, over the next few weeks. What else is there? And then on Saturday I'm going to be doing another live video about a post that I posted, but I'll tell you more about that on Saturday. Okay, well, ciao for now, bye for now, and have a really good week. Think about, you know, if you're an adult, have a think about some of the behaviors I talked about. Is any of your work colleagues showing some signs of those? Are your children, if you're a parent, are your children showing that? If you're a teacher, someone in your class, because 1 in 4 have a mental health concern. 1 in 4. That's really quite a shocking figure. But anyway, I'm going to stop now, but thank you so much for all those people that came on today and to listen to the 5 things that a parent can say to their child about mental health, so that they don't feel that they are not good enough or weird or whatever, or that their friends will call them mental. like the boy that I saw. Anyway, have a lovely, lovely day, and I'll catch you again on Saturday. Speak soon. Bye.